Shakespeare said, "What's in the name?" Didn't he? No offense to Shakespeare fans, but nowadays name often gives an impression of how cool, rich, modern, or religious a person is. Hold on. Why are we talking about names and Shakespeare? I noticed something, observed it, and here to share it with you. I recently came across a guided meditation by a guy named, oh, I forgot to add his name in video. Okay, so he is this guy. His name is this. He is on the cover photo of Netflix 30-minute documentary on meditation. And whenever he goes, he talks about one concept, monkey mind.
So monkey mind, monkey mind, monkey mind. This monkey mind. So push too much.
After I first heard about monkey mind, I suddenly felt connected to something that does exist, but I was not consciously aware of it. Like social media does exist, but a 2-year-old kid wouldn't know about it. Yeah, something like that. Mind chatters like a baby everywhere you go. And if you recently heard a popular song that got stuck in your mind, that baby grows into a monster. Your mind plays that song whenever you wake up, whenever you go to study. You get the point. Mind creates chaos. I wondered for a while, what if I never met this guy? And I never knew about this made up word called monkey mind. Just because he labeled something that I wasn't aware of with something that I'm familiar with, I went like, oh fuck, that really exists. And it also gave me a new perspective in an instant. I mean, just imagine if the happiness didn't have a name. Happiness, people can only feel it but can't express it. Since we label it, it become conscious and alive, and we started calling things like happy earth, happy community, happy family. The word monkey mind makes a lot of sense because monkey is believed as dumb and funny, which is funny because we are also monkey. Shout out to Charles Darwin. But now we named it as monkey mind. We have an option to separate bad thoughts from good thoughts. Bad thoughts come from monkey mind, and since monkey is associated with dumb and idiot, these thoughts are also associated as dumb and idiot. So I gave this idea a little spin. How easy and effective our thought process can be if we just start labeling things around us. What if we start treating the external forces acting on us as object, as something we are familiar with? Consider meditation. When I just started meditation, I just hated it. I remember meditating was the last thing I wanted to do. It was too much for me to not able to think of something even for 60 seconds. It took me a little time to realize that the game of meditation isn't tricky but simple. Meditation is not about controlling or stopping your thoughts. Matter of fact, you just can't do it. But it's about being aware of the existence of these thoughts. This is gonna sound alien to someone who just started meditation, but let me just label it for you, and in a moment you will be able to grasp the idea. Meditation is like you are sitting on the road and watching the traffic passing besides you, but never becoming the part of that traffic. In meditation, thoughts are traffic and your mind only observes it. That's it. That's meditation in one line. Labeling or naming things is an amazing way to look at life through different lenses. Basically, it gives you a new perspective, and sometimes that's the only thing you need. These different lenses gave rise to greatest ever inventions by mankind because we learn to find a connection by labeling things. Birds with planes, trees with nervous system, heart with engine, child's mind with machine learning, ripples with waves, and the list just doesn't end. Why something as simple as labeling things can change our mindset so drastically? Look outside your window, look at nature. Things do seem random, but are they really? Why certain animals or plants seems like a live art? Why web of spider has nothing to do with randomness but art? Because they are indeed art. If you are into mathematics and science of universe, you must have heard about golden ratios and Fibonacci sequence. The golden ratio exists all over in the universe, and same goes with the Fibonacci sequence. Our mind likes to see patterns. It craves for it, but it likes to go one step forward. Sadly, we don't take that step, but scientists do. And that step is connecting pattern. To connect two things in pattern, we need to find a familiarity between these things, just like we did with bad thoughts as monkey mind and meditation as looking at traffic. One common link that makes sense of two unrelated things needs to be explored if you want to connect a pattern. Connecting pattern is amazing because apart from just scientists trying to find a new invention, it's about human behavior also, how we behave, why we behave, and there are hidden forces, there are hidden patterns, and if we are not aware about it, because they do exist, we are just not aware about it. Once we become aware of it, we can easily find loopholes, we can easily find the leaks, we can easily see why our certain plans are not working. We feel confused all the time, but confusion has a good side to it. It can create possibilities and new opportunities for us. Finding a link between things that are confusing you will build a bridge for you, and that bridge will help you to get out of that confusion. In context of this discussion, I came across a quote: "Be master of your own kingdom," and that is the most beautiful line I ever came across. I loved how writer labeled our life as kingdom and ourselves as king. I mean, seriously, how amazing life can be if we treat it as a kingdom and you are the king who have to take care of everything happening in your kingdom. You have to take the responsibility, you have to take the decisions, and not just that, you have your own army, you have your own general. I like to call it as Mr. Discipline. You have your own advisor, it's called Mr. Patience, and you have your own main commando, and that's called Mr. Consistency. These are all the strengths of your kingdom, and as a king, you know what are the loopholes, what area of your kingdom you need to improve at, which problem you should attack directly, or which problem you should just understand it and negotiate the way you want to. I mean, there are a lot of aspects, and it just feels like a game. I know it is an abstract concept, but when you visualize it, you can really feel like a king, and you have that responsibility to take care of your kingdom, and that thing alone, that will really improve just the way you look at things. And these things doesn't have to make sense for everyone. It's okay if people will be like, nah, that's a dumb idea, but if you can really feel it, you can really get into it, man, I'm telling you, it's extremely powerful. You just have to imagine, just pick up any abstract concept, stick it with the thing that you are having problem with, visualize it, create a new world. Basically, you will have a new perspective. Our behavior is a roller coaster ride of happiness, sadness, anger, guilt, you know that. Just connecting roller coaster with something like mood swings connects a pattern and literally gives you a new perspective. To be honest, there is no straightforward answer to this question. The reason is simple. There are a lot of hidden forces, the external attacks, internal leaks that are driving our behavior. Rocket launches still fail. Basically, they don't behave the way we want them to, because it's our ignorance to external forces, internal leaks, or misalignments. Such hidden patterns can only be found if we are willing to fail and look for a common link. But what do I mean by external forces? Suppose you have bad habits of wasting time on social media, watching porn, or eating junk food. These habits stay with us because there are hidden forces constantly driving us towards these things. The internal leaks in your system that will take you back to such bad habits, even if you don't want to. And it's normal, it happens with everyone. But every problem has a solution, and you just need to have a mental model to understand your behavior. Labeling or naming things is your best bet because it will give you a new perspective in instant. You don't have to read a book or watch a video. Just gather whatever knowledge you have and start labeling. For example, in my case, whenever I get cravings of scrolling on Instagram, I label it as gates of hell. Again, an abstract concept, but that makes sense to me. I constantly visualize myself. Once I go through that gate, there is no easy coming back. You will come out but burned, bruised, and damaged. And by the time you realize it, you have wasted a lot of time. I try to visualize these gates of hell as bad as I can because I know the consequences can be really bad. So it's better to show myself a little bit of fear before I start doing this thing, because that's really a great investment if you just want to stop doing this thing. Now, in the beginning, it will take a little time to fit this pattern in your mind, like really associating gates of hell with something as scrolling on social media But once you get it right, you will hit a jackpot. Every one of us have got problems, but problems have its own fun because sometimes it is hiding a treasure of knowledge within itself, and sometimes you will have to solve your own problems. You can't expect someone to come towards you and pamper your feelings. Finding out patterns, labeling things, introducing abstract concept will help you understand your problems from a completely new perspective. And sometimes that's all you need, a fresh new perspective to look at things.